This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Today is the yahrzeit of my brother, Nechefal ben Yosef Chaim HaKohen. My parents are in Eretz Yisrael, and they do a shtukal hilul over there, and they visit the kever v'chulu. But here in America, I usually try to hold down the fort. A lot of my brothers, Baruch Hashem, in Eretz Yisrael, learning there. So I usually try every year to say, do something, Lui Nishmasai, go see him, shtukal of art. So hopefully in the next 5 minutes, give her something that's tangible and hopefully impactful. So, state in this parasha, as Yosef was going down to Mitzrayim, he was sold, he was abandoned by his brothers, of course. So Pasuk says, Parak Lamed Zayin, Pasuk Tesvav, Vayimtzeu ish v'hinei toya basadeh. He was looking for his brothers, and he said, the man said, Ma tavakish, what are you looking for? And Yosef responded, I'm looking for my brothers. Where are they? What happened? Tell me now, where are they? Where are they? What are they doing? What are their whereabouts? I saw, actually, I called him this week to confirm it. Rabbi Sachar Frand. He writes in his book from Art School on the Parsha, Rabbi Frand 3. He brings down a Kotzker. I asked him where it is, because sometimes you can find the Kotzker Torah. Check that on Eitzar Chacham, couldn't find it, but he said he thinks it's Mipir Shmuel. He quotes the Kotzker that reads the pasuk differently. The pasuk says, "V'imtzeu ish v'hinei toya basada." A man found him, and Yosef was looking for his brothers, etc. Says the Kotzker, you read it differently. V'imtzeu ish. The Medrash tells us, who is this ish? Who is this person? Gavriel HaMalach. Gavriel HaMalach found Yosef Tzaddik v'hinei toya basada. Toya is the lashon of he was draying zach. He was just a little bit at loss, a little confused. And says the Kotzker, this is an illusion. This is referring to all of us. Yosef Tzaddik, his whereabouts, that feeling of toyeh, that's all of us. We are all toyeh basada. This world is a shtikol sada. It's a field. We're all on a journey. We're all trying to figure things out. We're all trying to achieve clarity and do the right thing. Right? But a lot of times it gets very confusing, very distorted. We're confronted with many, the endless onslaught of nisyonis, right? And what was the Torah say? V'shelu ish leimor matavakish. What was the chizik? What did Gavriel HaMalach tell Yosef? He said, I understand. I see what you're about to go through. I'm a malach. I have a different vision, a different vantage point of what you see. And I see all the nisyonis you're about to encounter. I see the shrekli chazachin. I see how you can be abandoned by your brothers, and how you're going to be with Ishes Paitifar, and how you're going to have to be oibin, and that nisayon is going to be the nisayon that encapsulates, that's greater than all, it's more severe than all the nisayons that are ever going to transpire until the end of the world. And I see all that's going to happen. And says Malach Gavriel, the way to stay strong, to stay mechuzik, to keep your head above, and not to succumb, but instead walk out victorious. What's the aside? What's the answer? It's Vaishaleu Ha'ish Lemar Matavakish. That wasn't part of the question. That was part of the advice. That was the Eitzah of always, says Malach Gavriel, ask yourself, Yosef, Vaishaleu Ha'ish Lemar Matavakish. Ask the Ish, ask yourself. Ask your inner conscience, your inner compass. Matavakish. What are you here for? What are you doing? Where are you going? Are you here for an elevated higher purpose? And if that's the answer, then that should always serve as a reminder in any circumstance, in any nisayon. That'll give you the power, the fortitude to remain empowered and ultimately overcome. And for us as well, whatever the nisayon is, but if we remember who we are, often we can get pushed down. We can feel pinned, right? We spoke about this yesterday. We can feel where we're going, what am I doing? It's so hard, and the nisyonis and the challenges, and this isn't working out, that's not working out. But if we have at the forefront, etched in our mayach, in our leiv, the nefesh, and we know that we're always asking ourselves, Veishaleu ish limar mativakish. We're always on a journey, we're always aspiring. Says Malach Gavriel, that's going to keep you in line, that is going to keep you intact, and that will serve as a medicine, mamash, as the thing that you need for wherever you go, wherever your whereabouts are, to stay strong, and ultimately in a state of nitzachon, of victory. I think this parallels very well with Chanukah. As we go into Chanukah, just the Firois, I saw this beautiful var, and I think it's mitzvah lefarsim. The Ichmayim Morgenstern in Sefer Bayam Dakacha, he says a beautiful zach. He says the words of Baruch Atah Hashem Ashek Hashem Zayzanu Lahadlik Ner Chanukah. Lahadlik Ner Chanukah is Lamed Nun Ches, which spells out the Oisius Nachal. Nachal is the same Rashi Tevis as Nafshenu Chiksal Hashem. We say it every day in Hoidu. Nafshenu Chiksal Hashem. Our hearts cleave for the Eibishter, for nothing else. And it's always important. Always the Sfarim trying to figure out what's the smichus, what's the juxtaposition between a parsha and a yontif. And for some reason, Vaishav always precedes Chanukah. But Kenzai, we can say another pshat, to give Hezbollah some clarification. Why are we always going from the Ashpais of Vayeshev into Chanukah? The answer is because it's this Yisai that we're going to get jaded, we're going to get pushed down, we're going to get lost and confused and all fogged up. But we're reminded, always be asking, what are you yearning for? What are you here for? And the same thing is with Chanukah. It's connecting back to Nafshenu Chiksal Hashem, always realizing that our hearts cleave, they yearn, we aspire for more, we realize that we're responsible, we realize that we're capable, and we realize that we can achieve those madrigas as long as we stay focused on the goal. So this Torah should be a schus, inshallah for my brother and my grandfather's outside. It was tomorrow. Shmuel Tzvi ben Binyamin. His inshallah happening as well.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.